Hey guys, Bido here to tell you about the latest from Upon a Burning Body, Blood of the Bull, out December 5th, released independently. This record has 11 tracks, 33 minutes in length, and this is the band's 7th full-length studio album. They are an American hardcore metalcore metal band. Now, when it comes to the design of this record, I'm not a fan of how this album is put together from that standpoint. It doesn't have the cohesive nature that you would expect from a full-length record. The album comes across more so like a compilation or playlist style album where the songs have great individual quality, but they don't really connect with one another, so they don't offer a fluid and cohesive experience from top to bottom. And you see that right at the start with the opening track, the intro track, that for as great as it is, it doesn't really lead you anywhere. And I felt like the album overall, had it had a little bit more consistency as far as connecting these songs, as connecting these experiences, would make the overall record a lot more powerful and a lot more memorable versus just concentrating on the uniquenesses and the qualities of the individual tracks, hoping that that is going to be enough, and perhaps for a younger audience that's going to consume this album on a song-by-song basis, that's going to be just fine. But for those of us that want to sit down, listen to a record, and have a full record experience, this is going to be a very bumpy ride. Now, as far as the sound on the album is concerned, this is a record that could be defined by two words: versatility and quality. And you cannot deny both as far as the sound is concerned. The album has great production behind it. You have groove elements, you got modern metalcore elements, you have hardcore elements, and all of them come to life with such great quality, such great execution, that you're able to see all of the different moving pieces of the sound, all of the different moving pieces of the individual songs, and really appreciate the size that the tracks have. This album doesn't have a narrow sound. This album is almost not designed, in my opinion, to be played or to be performed in smaller spaces. This album has a little bit of a larger size to it. And I like that because it fits the vibe of the band, and it definitely fits the sound that they put together on this record and the versatility of that same sound. So the production on this album does a phenomenal job enhancing the individual qualities of the tracks and bringing one of my favorite elements on this record to the surface, which is the guitar sound. Excellent guitar sound, groovy, heavy, really the meat and potatoes of the entire record sits on those guitars. The versatility of changing between genres, giving songs a little bit more of a hardcore feel, giving songs a little bit more of a groovier riff, then bringing some more modern metalcore elements mixed in with keys and electronic sounds. All of that is defined by the production behind it, but it's definitely put forward in a very bright light by the way the guitar sound and how they approach these different styles with different executions. So I thought the guitar playing on this album is on par with the overall quality that the production has. Not to say that there are not other elements that play a role. I thought the drum sound on this record was really good as well because it offers quite a bit of heaviness to the overall sound, but it also creates depth, specifically when you start hitting the cymbals, the way they come in the mix, feeling a little bit more distant from the bass sound of the drums. That definitely helps spread the songs. It definitely helps give some depth to the songs, and a lot of that size that I was talking about that at times gets filled in with the overall guitar sound, it's really defined as far as the borders are concerned by those drums, allowing the bass to come through quite a bit in the mix. That is also an element that plays into the overall grooviness of the record, specifically those songs. Having those electronic elements, those keys, and the more modern metalcore style track. It's an album that has a lot of moving pieces, but at the end of the day, sound-wise, the production and the guitar sound become the cornerstones of the overall existence of this record. Once you get into the vocals, I like the clean vocals a lot, especially in those more modern metalcore songs, but I really like the harsh vocals because they give a lot of personality to this record. They give a lot of intensity and definitely give a certain edge to the songs. Matching really well with the vibe of the track, with the influence of the track. But I thought overall, both styles, both deliveries, really complementing one another, but more importantly, really complementing the songs. It's a record that is made up of 11 tracks, All of them have great quality individually, but once again, to me, the sticking point of this album, or perhaps the soft spot on the record, is how the record is built. More so like a compilation, a lot less like a full-length record. As far as favorite songs goes, I'm gonna start off with Vultures, heavy, groovy. This track, if it doesn't remind you of Lamb of God, you gotta check your ears. This track has a lot of Lamb of God elements in it, in the sound and in the vocal performance. Specifically, once it gets into the chorus, those vocals in the chorus definitely scream Lamb of God. It's a track that has that groovy nature to it. Amazing guitar sound, amazing guitar tone. The vocals with some haunting layers, really adding power to the way the vocals get delivered. It's a banger of a track. Great drums, giving size, giving width. It's a track that just feels complete, that just feels heavy, that just feels like it needs to be played live because it has the right energy for that sort of setting. Then you have Another Ghost, very different, a more modern metalcore style song, more melancholic, more melodic, with the electronic elements, the keys having a more predominant role in the definition of what the overall sound is. The clean vocals definitely help set up that more modern metalcore experience for the track. Having some heavier bursts of sound here and there also plays a role in the song, but those just really create a gap or emphasize the difference that exists between the heavier side of the band and that more melodic, melancholic side that's on full display on this track. The chorus of the song is also the part of the track that better defines that same melody and that same melancholy, considering how much the verses allow the track to really brew and grow into something much more powerful, much more intense, and I would say even emotional in terms of how that chorus comes across, both from a soundscape point of view, but also from a vocal performance as well. Last but not least, Curse Breaker. This is another song like Vultures. Very groovy, very heavy, a banger, amazing guitar sound, amazing guitar work. On this track, they allow the bass to pop quite a bit. That allows it to feel in some ways similar to a song like Vultures because of how groovy it is, but the fact that the bass pops a lot helps also give the song its own individual fingerprint. Super intense, both on the vocals, both on the vocals and sound. Super aggressive, amazing song, a little bit more linear in terms of how it moves from beginning to end, but never losing its intensity, never losing its aggression, definitely never losing its drive. This is it, Upon a Burning Body. Once again, Blood of the Bull, out December 5th, an independent release. Hit me up in the comment section, let me know your thoughts on the band, and I'll see you all at the next video. Take care, guys.